You're watching today's Money TV show. Join top innovators, investors, and business leaders as they share insights for success in today's fast-paced economy.
Welcome to today's Money TV. This is a show where innovation meets opportunity, and we bring you the game changers transforming industries. For cutting edge solutions in clean energy to background breaking strategies in business and beyond. Today's Money is packed with insight and inspiration to help you drive success and make an impact. Let's get started. Today, we're joined by Russ Bates, founder of NXTGEN Clean Energy Solutions. Russ specializes in clean energy innovations like solar, wind, and EV charging, helping business boost profits while protecting the planet. Let's explore how he's shaping the future of sustainability. Hey, Russ, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on our show. Russ, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about what you do and your company?
Yeah, so Russ Bates, I'm the CEO and founder of NXTGEN Clean Energy Solutions. Big picture, what we do is we're a single point concept to completion company. So we work with big Fortune 500 companies, municipalities, mom and pop shops, Main Street folks, C&I, commercial industrial folks, for clean energy and sustainability solutions. So we're a one-stop shop, concept to completion group that really provides that bit of hand-holding and extra bandwidth and expertise for our clients to get from point A to point Z.
God knows, I think we all need a little hand-holding, right?
For sure. I need some on things too.
Yep. Russ, now solar has changed a lot. You know, we've had a lot of different people on solar that talk about residential tax incentives and different things, but not too many that actually talk about commercial usage. And, you know, solar's changed a lot. It has really come a long way. The technology, the efficiency, I can't talk today, Russ, the efficiency of solar. So has it really come along that much that it's worth doing it on your commercial property or use investing into your own company for solar?
Yeah, I'm going to say 90-something% of the time, it absolutely is going to make sense. So as you said, the efficiency has increased incredibly, right? Instead of 125, 150 watt panels, we're in the 550s, the 650s, 700 watt panels. And the cost has come down considerably. So what you would have paid a decade or so ago for that 150 watt panel, it's come down significantly in price. So that means the economics work out. So the efficiencies improve, the economics have worked out. Does it work for everybody? It works for a lot, like I was saying, but it really depends on the situation, right? And that's where we'll provide preliminary design and budgetary financials to see, you know, kind of model out, does this make sense or does it not? Most of the time, it's going to make sense. And as time goes on, it's going to continue to make more and more sense.
And it's possible to be able to numerically justify it, right? You can do analysis, you can do the numbers, say, hey, this is your watt usage, this is how much you're going to be able to be able to offset. There is a true report, not just like, hey, it's going to help you out, you know, just watch your bill. You can actually have an ROI of what that investment is, correct?
We'll project that out over the life of the system. If it's a power purchase agreement where someone else is installing the system and owning it, and that off-taker, that business is actually just buying that electricity, we'll go through all those numbers, and we include the tax incentives. We include what the escalation, the historical escalation of electricity over time has been, and kind of extrapolate on that. But you know, we're pretty conservative. We'd rather underpromise and overdeliver. But I tell you what, we're seeing incredible price increases coming. I'll point to Canada and some of the tariff talk that's going on. They're actually saying, hey, we're going to cut off energy supply to the U.S., to, I think it's New York, to Michigan and Wisconsin. for electricity. So that means
Oh, wow.
prices are going to go up, right? It's not like they're going to quit using electricity. They're still going to do that. So point being, whenever you're doing these systems, on day one what you're going to be paying. And if it's a PPA or down the road, we can project that out to what you're going to be paying on day 20 or year 20, year 25, what have you.
Now, you used to be a fossil guy too, right? I know people have called you some names and
Yeah.
have kind of looked at you and give you an ugly mug for being a fossil guy and coming on the clean energy side, right?
Yeah. It's I tell you what, the fossil fuel industry, it's incredible. I mean, you think about it, and the workers are amazing. They are very, very skilled. I'm going to say the highest skilled in the world, and they can easily transition. I always say, hey, if I can do it, I'm an electrician by trade. If I can make this transition, anybody can, because I'm not that special. But still, there's a big pushback from the fossil fuel industry for some good reasons in their mind.
Right.
They're just trying to keep in business and continue to make money. But it's a global transition. The U.S. is so far behind. It does. One administration is not going to stop what's happening. We may slip a little bit further behind here in the U.S. depending on who's in the White House, but it's still going to happen.
Right. Yeah. I mean, between the environmental push and everything that's really happening in the world today, it's a big movement towards it. So now somebody is going to look at solar. They're going to look at commercial usage. They're going to look at and see how it is, whether it's a municipality or a regular business. And then they're going to rectify, okay, I understand my ROI for the investment. It's going to be worth it. What about the tax incentives, which is another way to be able to pay off or pay down, depending on how you use the tax incentives for your business. So it's not just the fact that you're offsetting the power usage. There's also tax incentives. Why don't you tell me about that?
Yeah, so whenever the Inflation Reduction Act, the IRA, was passed in 2022, there was already investment tax credits, ITCs, for solar projects, but those were kind of winding down. Those percentages were dropping each year. The IRA gave a life all the way to 2030 and beyond for what those values were going to be. So if you got a project, let's say for easy math, let's just say a small commercial project, $100,000 project, a little roof mount solar array, that $100,000 project is going to have a baseline ITC tax incentive of 30%. So 30% of 100,000, that's 30 grand, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's also additional tax incentives that you can get with that. The domestic content, which is a struggle, that's a whole other conversation. Not too much is qualifying for that yet. That's another 10% if you can get that one. Different areas of where you live. There's a few other incentives that you can get on there. The problem we're running into now is what's going to happen with this new administration. You're hearing drill, baby, drill. You're hearing we're going to roll back that IRA. You're hearing all kind of things. My predictions is that that's not going to make a lot of sense to roll back the IRA because there's a lot of red states that there's more red states that benefit by far than any of the blue states from these tax incentives. So I can see them pulling grant money back, but I do think it's going to end up staying on the tax incentives. But we don't know, and nobody knows what's going to happen.
The world changes. There's always going to be some kind of benefit. There's always going to be something that's out there. I think, it's a bipartisan situation anyways, that everybody wants to save the world. And I mean, everybody's going to look down on the situation. Even behind the scenes, we know what's really going on. There's the people have spoken. They want clean energy. They want a cleaner environment. There's a huge movement going towards that. It has been going for a while. It'll continue to go through that. Everybody's pushing against global warming. So yeah, it is. So Russ,
it's economical too. When that's another thing. It makes financial sense.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest push, especially where we're at this point in time.
Yeah. Save the world, buy some solar.
That's right. That's right.
Russ, tell us how our audience can get a hold of you if they want to find out more about commercial solar or opportunities that they can invest in their own business or save that money.
Yeah, I'm easy to find on LinkedIn, Russ Bates. You can find NXTGEN Clean Energy Solutions on LinkedIn. You can get to our website, nextgencleanenergy.com, and that's NXTGEN. So pretty easy to get a hold of us.
Yeah, and we'll have a QR code down on the screen for everybody to take a little picture of that and be able to see you and get to you. So, Russ, thank you so much for taking the time to being with us and giving us the information of what's happening in the world today. And we hope to see you soon.
Thanks for having me, I really appreciate it.
Take care.
Thanks.
We're thrilled to feature William Auchmoody, part of the NASCAR Cup Series team AmeriVet number 50, and Eric Antico, president of ForgiveCo. Together, they bring a unique blend of high-octane racing and innovative business solutions. Let's dive into their journey and the impact they're making in their industry. Good day, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Good afternoon, Hugh. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. Thank you so much for being on the show. Willie, I know I know your name is William, but for the audience knows, I've known you for a long time and we're friends. I call William Willie, and Eric is new friends of the show. So I'm so happy to have you guys on the show. I'm excited. I've heard so many good things. I know you guys end the year in a big way and got 2025 moving forward. Willie, tell us a little bit about what you guys have been doing and where you guys are going.
Yeah, so Hugh, as you know, when we met 3 years ago, we were branded as one thing. We made a good run trying to make that work. It didn't. We moved on. We rebranded everything to Team AmeriVet for the end of 2024. But for 25, obviously, we're going to hit the ground running, and we're really excited with our mission, obviously, to race as much as we can, which this year we're looking to move to 12 to 15 events. But our goal is to help our nation's veteran with debt relief through our 50 Vets a Week program, which is powered by ForgiveCo, Eric's company.
So, Eric, you are from ForgiveCo. Tell us how you guys are accomplishing this and a little bit about your company.
Sure. ForgiveCo is a public benefit corporation, and we just have a really unique skill set where we can buy debt out of collections for the groups and communities that brands or sports teams care about. And Willie and I came together about 6 months ago, and it really didn't take us more than 24 hours to put 1 and 2 together and say, hey, if we could help 50 vets a week for the entire 2025 NASCAR season, wouldn't that be a win for our team as well as our brand partners? And we're kind of the platform and mechanism that kind of brings all the purpose together here.
Nice. So you're saving the world while you're racing. It's a great combination, right?
Well, listen, everything our veterans have done for our veterans are the reason why we're able to do the things we do in this country. Whether it's racing, whether it's this interview, everything we owe to our nation's veterans. So we do everything we can to give back to those.
I agree with you. Now, Willie, you guys, as you said, you've changed teams, you've pivoted. You also have your family members in there and a female team owner. How is that working out?
Yeah. So the reason why it says co-owner under my name is because Becky, my wife, who you've met, she is the owner.
Right.
But she's actually a full-time first grade school teacher. So hence the reason why she couldn't be on the call tonight, because she had to stay after school today to get some stuff done for the end of the semester. Yeah, that's her full-time gig. And when she's not doing that and chasing 20 kids around the classroom, she's helping run the race team.
Yeah, and she's a smart lady. She knows racing. I've been on the field with you guys, and she's a smart lady. And you guys got kids too, right?
Yep. Yeah. Ryan's 20 years old. He's a senior at UNC Charlotte. He works for the race team and he works for some other race teams. And then Luke, my 16-year-old son, he's learning the business. Currently, he does all of our models and mock-ups. When somebody wants to know what a car can look like with their logo on it, he does that for us. And Eric keeps him pretty busy with some of some of his partners he's bringing in to help us out. And then Lily, she's 8 years old. She was our little surprise, and she holds down the fort, just smiling and being a cute little kid.
A heart of the team, right? That's the heart team. That's amazing. Your wife has the patience of a saint, I'm sure. So that's great, man. It's amazing, and it's a rare thing nowadays to be able to have a female that's in a predominantly male sport, and especially as an owner. So that's really props to her. So now, Eric, you guys are only working for Will, or are you guys a charity, or are you a company? What do you guys do?
Yeah, so as a public benefit corporation, we lead with purpose, and our purpose is to make an impact on Americans getting out of debt. And in this program specifically, we're targeting veterans, but we serve all sorts of different types of corporate brand partners. We service all different types of sports teams as well. So we have a similar program with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Verizon this year, for every Steelers win that they've had, we've wiped out $100,000 of debt for veterans in Pittsburgh. And
wow.
We're lucky that the Steelers have won 10 games this season. So we've wiped out over $1 million of debt. And you just see the gratitude from these veterans. They're able to come out to the games and talk about, what the relief meant to them. And, letters get sent out to hundreds of veterans each week when a win happens. And to be able to get this life-changing emotional connection with the Steelers and Verizon with a veteran that they care about, it's you can't buy that connection. And
No.
It's what we're looking to do here with the NASCAR team, with Team AmeriVet. And, we've got a goal to wipe out, at least $5 million of debt for vets all across the country.
Wow.
In 2025.
Wow. So what are your goals for 2024 is done. New season's coming up. What are your goals? What are you guys trying to accomplish in the team and philanthropy? Like, what are you guys looking for?
Yeah, so we were able to kick the program off at the last race of the year. And I don't want to say a last minute thing, but it was definitely, we weren't anticipating running at Phoenix in November, but it came together pretty quickly. And just that one race and not a lot of time to prepare for it, we were able to erase $125,000 in debt for, I think it was a little over 100 veterans.
Wow.
For our first race. And our goal is going to be a little more than that. And I think, Eric and I, some of the earlier conversations that we've had with some of our other partners, we'd like to do $250,000 a race week. I mean, that's kind of where we'd like to be minimally.
Right.
Some of the conversations we're having now, I mean, we could literally be 3 to 4 times that amount per race week with some of our partners. So, I think our goal is, as much as 5 million sounds like a lot, and it is, but I got to tell you, my heart tells me I don't think we're going to have a problem meeting and hopefully smashing that goal for 2025.
I mean, quite honestly, $5 million it's significant, and being able to do something like that changes lives. It really does. I wish you guys the best. I mean, that would be really amazing. And what better, helping people while you're racing, excitement, saving money. I mean, it's a winning combo, right? You guys are a match made in heaven. So if somebody wants to get involved with you guys, what would they do? How would they get involved with you, Willie, or with you, Eric? Like, Willie, why don't you start and tell me, how would they contact you guys if they want to sponsor you guys or get involved with your program and what you're doing?
Yeah. So for us, teamamerivet.com, TEAMERIVET.com. If you go to our website, obviously there's the stuff for the race team on there, but there's also a link to our 50 Vets a Week website where there's a little more information about the program. And there's a link, I think it's join our mission at teamamerivet.com. It's right on there. And that's the best way to get a hold of us and learn a little more about the program.
Okay. And now how about yourself, Eric?
Yeah, we encourage, business owners and brands and marketers and small business owners, veteran-owned businesses to check out that website, 50vetsaweek.com. We're fueled by the corporate sponsors. We can only do good if we get partners that want to come race with us. And so 50vetsaweek.com would be a great place. And then all things ForgiveCo, ForgiveCoCO.com, ForgiveCO.com. That's where you can find, all the good work that we're doing from the ForgiveCo perspective.
Okay, wonderful. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time, your effort. I think it's amazing what you guys are doing. I wish you the best for 2025. I am looking forward to seeing you guys kill it in 2025 and come back and tell us your progress and see how you guys have been doing. So I really salute you guys and appreciate it.
We thank you for having us on.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.